So this is just a quick demonstration of how you can use some really basic tools to inject custom CSS code snippets into your Moodle theme. And basically, I mean, a lot of people find it quite intimidating working with code, and it's not something that they relish doing because especially with a piece of software as complicated as Moodle, it's understandable that you don't want to cause any damage or break anything that you don't understand. However, really what I'm trying to get across with this video is that it's possible to make some quite significant changes without really doing anything that's too unusual or too advanced. And hopefully at the end of this video you'll feel a little bit more confident to dig into some of the Moodle code and just have a little bit of a play around and see what you can do. So I'm running Moodle 2.5 here. It's my test server, and I've just got a random example course that I use for just testing really. And you can see I've currently got editing mode turned on, and there's really two main areas of the page that you need to note. The first one is up here, the navigation breadcrumbs, and it's styled just the same as it normally is really, with a white background and dark text. These are all links, so I could click on that and go to the category. And we've got these little arrows to indicate the direction of travel, as it were. So computing and IT is within science, technology, engineering and maths. One of the main problems that people have with the navigation breadcrumbs is when these have particularly long names, they sometimes cause the style to break or for text to kind of go over the edge. And the CSS snippet that I'm going to be adding to this theme, one of them deals with this and just kind of makes these into nice little buttons really. The other piece of styling that I'm going to be applying is just, it's called auto hide, and it deals with the number of editing icons that are visible when you've got editing turned on in Moodle. Now in Moodle 2.4 and 2.5 the core development team have done a really good job of making editing mode look a lot prettier. However, there's still quite a lot of editing icons, particularly on a course that's got a lot of content. And so by being able to hide the icons that you don't need to see, you can make them a little bit more user-friendly. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is head down to the administration block and then have a look under site administration, appearance, themes, and theme selector. And basically I'm just looking for the name of the current theme that I've got selected, which is Binarious. Now remember the name of the theme that you see there, because that's your theme and it's the theme that you're trying to customize. So that's going to be really important for the next step. Now in the comments, the description for this video, you should find a couple of links that will take you towards the two CSS snippets that I'm using today, and you can download those from GitHub. Once you've downloaded them to a temporary location, such as like C drive or your desktop or somewhere like that, all you need to do is just copy them both, and we're going to move them into the directory for our theme. So here is my Moodle directory. This is the directory that's on the web server, and you're looking for folders such as enroll and login, mod. These are all things that tell you that you're looking at your base Moodle directory. And in particular we're interested in this theme folder. And then we want to have a look for the name of the theme that we have selected. So a moment ago I said that my theme is called Binarious, but you might be using any one of these or another one that you've added yourself. So just double click on that. And this is generally as far as people would normally go, but in this case I want us to just go one step further and double click on the style folder. And you can see in here we've got three files. These are all cascading style sheet documents, as Windows calls them. They're basically just plain text files that describe how Moodle should look on the browser. And I'm going to paste in the two files that I copied a second ago. So auto hide and Crumbs. And what this has done is it's basically put the style sheets in a place that the theme can find them. The next step is to actually point the theme towards them. So I'm going to go back up one folder, and I'm now wanting to look at config.php. So this is Moodle theme and then the name of your theme and config.php. And you need to edit this with a plain text editor, something like Notepad++ or something similar. Microsoft Notepad generally isn't that great because it doesn't recognize the line returns that are often used. So there's a lot of green text going on here. This is all just comments. And at first it looks quite scary, but actually when you break it down, this is all quite ordinary stuff. Theme, name, equals binarious, which is something that we already knew. And generally you can kind of copy the style of what's already being done in here if you want to change something. So you need to scroll down to theme and sheets. And then what we want to do is add these two here. So generally speaking, you'll find that originally. And I'm just going to mimic the style and use single quote, auto, hide, close single quote, comma. And the comma indicates that we're moving on to the next item. So again, single quote, and this time it's crumbs, single quote, comma. Now you'll notice that I'm not adding the file extension, and basically it's just the file name. That's all that I need to put in there, and I'm mimicking the style of what's already above it. So I'm going to save that now, and we're nearly there. The theme now does know where to find these style sheets and is applying them. Incidentally, the fact that I've got these at the bottom of the list means that they are going to be applied last. So core is applied first, crumbs is applied last, and that's important because if crumbs contradicts core, then this will have priority. It's a little bit complicated, but basically if you want this to be applied fully, then put it at the bottom of the list. And finally what we're going to do, head back to Moodle, and now on the theme selector page, the final thing we need to do is just clear the theme caches. And what that does is just refreshes, it tells Moodle to look again at the theme and pull out all of the style information. And I'm just going to quickly head back to the course that we were on a second ago. And hopefully you'll note that a couple of things are different. Looking at the navigation breadcrumbs, you can see that we've now got these nice little capsules for each of the entries in the navigation stream, as it were, the breadcrumbs. And in particular, the item that had a very long name before has now been trimmed down. And as I hover over these things, they highlight correctly. And if I really want to find out what the name of this is, then I can just hover over it for a second, and it expands to show me the full extent of the name. If I move my mouse away again, it doesn't collapse until 5 seconds later, basically when I'm done. So hopefully that's a little bit clearer and neater and saves a tiny little bit of space for us. And also it's just a little bit more polished in general, I would say. In terms of auto hide, you'll notice that my editing icons are only showing up when I'm hovering over an item. So this includes the icons for an actual topic. All of this still works the same, it's just that these icons only appear when my mouse is nearby. Okay, so for most of you that's probably as far as you want to go. You've edited a little bit of code and it's kind of brought a bit more of a polished look to your VLE. For those of you that want to go a step further, I'll just give the example of the colour that we've got on this crumbs.css file. You can see that this is vivid green and I'm on a theme that's orange, so it doesn't really fit in with the colour theme. And what I quite like to do is change this colour. So I know that when I downloaded the file, it mentioned that the highlight colour could be changed around about line 30. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and edit that now. And in order to do that, head back to the folder that we were in a second ago, the theme folder. We're going to go to Style, and then Crumbs, which is the file I copied in a moment ago. And we're going to open up that. And again, lots of code, looks very scary, but don't worry about that. We're looking for colours in particular. So you can see here background colour. Now I already know that the line that I want to change is around about line 32. But the other thing that gives it away to me is that D, 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 these are all the same. This is just a grey or a black or a white or something like that. There's no colour there. If I scroll down, the one that's more complicated should jump out to me. 9, 1, C4, 6C. These are all different numbers, and it tells me that this is a colour. There's actually some more information going on here. So 34 is the line in question. And what I want to do is just replace this colour with the orange. Now, how do I do that? Well, if you've got Microsoft Paint available, the best thing to do is take a screenshot of this page and then head into Paint and paste that in. And basically, we're going to use the colour picker here, and just select that mid-orange tone. And then I'm going to go to Edit Colours, and you can see I've got red 246, green 113, blue 25. So that's telling me the makeup of that colour. So if I note those down, I can go back to Notepad, and now what I'm going to do is replace this hex code, that's what it's called. I'm going to type in RGB, open close brackets, and then in those brackets I'm going to type the numbers that I just read out to you a second ago. So 246 red, 113 orange, and 25 blue. And if I save that now, go back to the page I was on a second ago and clear those theme caches again, and you'll be able to see now that this selected highlighted colour is orange, and it matches the rest of my theme much better. So I've actually gone and not only added my own custom CSS, I've actually tweaked that to suit the theme that I'm currently using. And that's really the first step of beginning to fully customize your site and being able to change the styling as you see fit. Now, the other thing to point out there is that if I'd have done something wrong, if I'd have changed a bit of code and it hadn't have worked properly, then the worst that would have happened is that this background colour wouldn't have been applied at all. You know, the server's not going to fall over, war isn't going to break out or anything like that. It's just a case of going back, hitting Control-Z a few times, and then saving the file, and it will go back to the way that it was. So really, there's no reason not to try this out. Just make sure that you've got a backup of the files that you're changing before you change them. Okay, well, I'd love to hear what you think about this. If you've got any thoughts, please feel free to share them with me on my blog or via moodle.org, or email me, and I'd be glad to answer any questions that you've got. Thank you very much for your time.